What's going on in the what the awakening the world is experiencing right now.
Mhm.
Uh, it's just a lot. It's just making putting me in the position to be like to activate me, and
Uh-huh.
also it's just frustrating to see so many people that weren't aware of this stuff and like
Right.
wasn't aware, and they're like, "This is crazy." I'm like, "It's not crazy. You're just waking up to it. Like
Exactly.
you're
Yeah.
just noticing what's happening. Like I've experienced this. I've
Mhm.
seen this.
Mhm.
Um, and now you're my white friends or some other
Mhm.
people who just didn't grow up in those type of
Right.
neighborhoods
Yeah. Yeah.
um, are now seeing it and they're like, "Oh my God!" I'm like, "Yeah, man, it's been going on for some time.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we're all in this fight together now and just fighting it."
Yeah, yeah, it's same thing. I have to like stop myself sometimes even with social media because it's so natural just and I'm trying to get out of this as well. But you wake up, you grab your phone. Before you go to sleep, sometimes you grab your phone. That's the last thing you're putting in your head every day, which just really is not good. So I completely understand. But I mean I definitely want to get into like just your story and like how you started and some of the things you're working on because I did read that you were a business management major. So how did you have you always wanted to be in entertainment or how did we get there?
Nah, nah, I've
Yeah.
never. Entertainment was not
Hmm.
the thing for me. Like my
Hmm.
plan was simple. Graduating college
Hmm.
was to open up a barbershop,
Okay. Hmm.
run a couple Sprint stores,
Hmm.
and have a nightclub promotion business. That
Nice.
was that was the goal. That was the
Hmm.
plan. I was well on my way.
Hmm.
I was already doing nightclub promotion at a couple clubs in Rhode Island.
Okay.
Um, I was managing two Sprint stores in
Hmm.
Massachusetts,
Wow.
and then I was just trying to like figure out what barbers I want to put in a barbershop
Hmm.
and how to get
Hmm.
the money to get the barbershop.
Hmm.
And then I heard a radio ad on my way to work one day for Pro Scout, which turned out to be like a complete scam
All right.
because
Okay.
yeah, because they literally they attack people like fantasy of fame, fortune, making a lot of money, being on TV.
Hmm.
I go to this thing and and I see all these kids and their parents and their mom telling them, smile, do this, do that, like all the actor moms and the actor
Right.
parents. And you see all these people coming to this place for just an opportunity to be seen.
Hmm.
Uh, I went there thinking to myself, why the hell am I here? What is even bringing me here? This is stupid. Like they're never gonna pick me for this thing.
Yes.
Uh, then when I got up to the podium and they asked me, do you think I could do this? I said, yeah, I could do this.
Hmm. Right.
Full of confidence that I can do it.
I'm supposed to be here.
Like, I'm supposed to be here. He said, all right, cool. And then he said, if you didn't get a card from
Hmm.
me, you could leave the room. And then a gang of people
Hmm.
left the room. I was still in the room. And I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
oh, okay, this might be something.
Right. Right.
And then he said, well, now
Hmm.
you're going to meet up with a bunch of casting directors at this one day.
Hmm.
So, and those are the people you're going to meet who's going to get you on TV and do it. But you had to pay X amount of dollars into it. And
Okay.
before I spend any kind of bread, let me do some research on some
Hmm.
acting stuff.
Hmm.
At the time, I was infatuated by Real World and Road Rules, College Hill, and all
Hmm.
that stuff.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, reality TV is acting, right? This acting. Then I Googled background actor. I went on Craigslist and I found a acting job on Craigslist for
Okay.
the year where I film. And I
Mhm.
went there with the idea that I was going to be background, because background I heard was you just sit in the back, you don't talk, you
Right.
just
Chill.
be just in the room, so
Uh-huh.
so I could see what's happening.
Mhm.
And when I got there, they said, "Okay, you're in the scene. You're going to be speaking. You're going to be doing this."
Oh, nice.
I said, "No, not nice. I didn't know what I was doing."
Oh,
I
okay, okay.
was sitting there like, what am I supposed to say?
Mhm.
Well, you're going to say why you came to this um session.
Mhm.
And the whole scene was set up like an AA meeting, like a group help, a
Okay.
self-help meeting,
Uh-huh.
where there was this one woman who's not speaking, who's been in the group for several times that hasn't spoke.
Okay.
And we are in the group and we're trying to get her to speak. So we're sharing our story. in order.
Oh, okay. Okay.
By the time it got to me, they said, when you get the ball,
Mhm.
say why you're here, what
Mhm.
brought you to the school, what brought you to this program, um, and how's it benefiting you?
Wow. That's
I,
a long way from I thought I was just gonna be in the background kicking it.
yeah, I know. So
Yes.
I literally made up a story on the spot about how after graduating college, I became an
Mhm.
alcoholic.
Mhm.
Life started spiraling out of control. And I didn't know which way was up and down.
Mhm.
But then my sister got an idea to get me a cat that could help nurse me back into
Mhm.
give me something to care about,
Mhm.
so I can get back on my feet. And
Nice.
long story short, I said it worked.
Mhm.
As I was telling the story, and I said it worked. And then when I went away and things
Mhm.
started back, I got a girlfriend, everything's good. I
Yes.
went away, I
Mhm.
came back.
Mhm.
My sister told me that my cat had passed away because it got ran down by a car.
Oh, that actually is a sad story. Yeah.
Because of
Mhm.
that part of the story, I'm
Mhm.
explaining that my life started spiraling back out of control.
Mhm.
And as I was saying that, I started crying, tears
Mhm.
started falling on my eyes.
Mhm.
And then I said, this is why I'm in this class, because in this class, it gave me something to care about. They helped me work out my issues and working from, and I passed the ball to her.
Wow.
They,
Okay.
they cut it. They
Uh-huh.
cut it and said, oh my God, that was great. That was cool. Have you did this before? I was like, no, I never did this before. They said,
Mm.
oh, okay. But quick thing. I don't know if that
Mhm.
cat story is real or not, but I'm sorry about the cat. I said, no, it's not. That's not a real story. I don't
Okay,
like
good,
cats.
good. Okay. All right, all right.
I was like, I don't like cats. I like
Uh,
I'm a dog person. And he's like, man, you got me. This was really good. And I said, all right,
mhm.
cool. And I said, you know what? I might actually have a shot at this.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I relayed the message to my older brother.
Mhm.
And he was a big fan of like Entourage at the time.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
Yes.
he was telling me, hey, if you want to do this, we could do this together. And like, I'll be your turtle. Like we'll do all
Wow.
using my road dog.
Mhm.
Fortunately, he ended up passing away.
Mhm. I'm
He ended
sorry.
up passing away. So I kept that story, I
Mhm.
kept that journey going,
Mhm.
and I made a consulted with my cousin in New York.
Mhm.
I told him that I was interested in doing reality TV or acting.
Mhm.
He said, if you're gonna do it for real, you either have to go to LA or New York, or be in New York. I said New York would be too close to family, so I'd be constantly dragged into family issues or
Okay.
things.
Mhm.
So I decided to move cross country to LA, and I called the only person I knew out
Mhm.
here
Mhm.
who told me I could live with him. But by the time I got here and landed in LA, he told me I couldn't live with him. So I ended up moving in with someone at baggage claim.
Goodness gracious. What was that moment like? Was it like, because I mean, it's already a big step to move to LA, but you always want that. Some people go thinking this is a big jump, but at least I know I'm living here, or at least I got this money saved, or whatever it may be. So, what was that feeling like?
Yeah, it was. It was what? How?
Right.
You knew I was coming from
Yeah.
Boston here. You okayed it. You told me your brother's an actor. Is I can learn from him. He was in this movie. Like this,
Wow.
you were my lifeline, my whole reason why I'm even over here, because
Right.
I knew at least one person
Mhm.
out here.
Right.
That,
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And how is LA culture for you? Because I know sometimes, and especially coming from someplace like Massachusetts, what was that jump like?
it was kind of cool.
Okay.
It was cool in the sense that I got up earlier than everybody because I was used to waking up 3 hours. Like
Oh, okay.
at a six,
Yeah.
I'm getting up at 9 o'clock, so I'm getting up at 6 o'clock here.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I'm up earlier than everybody. I'm able to work out early in the morning and get
Right.
my
Right.
day started fresh. I was like, man, everybody in LA is slow. They're sleepy.
You're right. I'm already up starting the day.
I'm already up starting the day, and then the fact that I was able to move in with somebody I met at baggage claim, I knew that
Mm.
I had no choice but to get it,
Yeah.
and I can't let that person down who invested in me and
Mhm.
allowed me to stay with him and took
Mhm.
a chance on me to stay with him. Him and
Yeah.
I are best friends, are still good friends to this day.
Wow.
When I turned 28, he told me a story about that day or what happened prior. Like a few weeks before that, he was robbed in
Oh my goodness.
in Watts, and then
Mm-hmm.
he put me at baggage claim and allowed me to stay there
Wow.
when he moved into a new place in North Hollywood. So he took a chance on me that I wasn't crazy. I took a
Right.
chance on him that he wasn't crazy.
Right.
And
Right.
I knew that I couldn't let him down in whatever I was doing,
Mm-hmm.
what I came out here for to do. So I hit the ground running, went on Craigslist again, found an acting class off Craigslist, which that was a scam as well.
Oh man.
But took my money that I didn't have. I didn't know about all the tax stuff that goes on in LA. Like, you
Mhm.
guys have tax. They had tax on clothes. Like, come on. Like,
Yeah.
in Boston, there's no tax in Boston on clothes. So, but the acting class had its own benefits because I learned what LA
Mm.
casting was. I learned what Actors Access was. I
Okay.
learned all that information on my third day
Mm.
in LA. So
Wow. Wow. Okay.
gave me the opportunity to, like, okay, figure out how to submit, how to figure out how to get myself out there.
And what advice, I talk to a lot of people who are, upcoming actors or writers or whatever it may be. What advice do you have for creatives who, are starting that path? Like, I'm trying to get out here, but I'm struggling to get my work out or to get people to see my talent. What advice would you say to them?
My advice is to get to acting class,
Yeah.
because acting class is the place where
Mhm.
I started loving it, became my passion.
Okay. Okay.
Because before that, it
Mhm.
was
Mhm.
mainly a thing I told my brother I was going to do and I was going to complete.
Mhm.
Also, it was something of fame, stardom,
Mhm.
money.
Mhm.
Those were my goals at first.
Right. Right.
When I got into acting class, you saw how quickly acting class weeded people out,
Mm.
and you saw the work. You saw the talent of people,
Mhm.
the level of talent people possess.
Mhm.
And I'll never forget the day it was during a scene. I was in the audience watching,
Mhm.
and Jim Perrick walked up on stage, and he's on True Blood at the time.
Okay.
He was doing a scene with another kid in class, and I saw him come alive in front of me,
Ah.
and on set,
Mhm.
on this stage,
Mhm.
us just watching an audience, and I learned the Meisner tech. I've been learning the Meisner technique. Is
Mm.
our school is based off the Meisner technique, Stanford
Okay.
Meisner technique,
Okay.
and to watch him do during activity with this other student in class, and they come so alive in that moment. I said, this is exactly what I want to do for the rest of my life. I don't want to do anything
Ah.
else. And I started going to class
Mhm.
7 days a week. The
Mhm.
program says for 2 days of class a week, with two
Mhm.
rehearsal classes. I went to all rehearsal classes. I went to 2 classes a week, and I also went to audit other classes with other teachers
Ah, okay.
with hopes of going up and performing with with the students from other classes.
You were not playing. So you did all you were definitely like putting the work in. You wanted people to see you were gonna do this, you were supposed to be here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if it wasn't for that class in that moment,
Mhm.
it wouldn't have woken up what I needed to
Mhm.
say, this is what I really want to do with the rest of my life.
Right.
But as you'll know, you'll learn who your friends are in class, who you're not, who's
Mhm.
here to just mess around, who's not, and you'll create a clique of people. You
Mhm.
create a clique of people in class, and then
Mhm.
you got to understand that you have to start investing in yourself by creating your own content, because
Okay.
being an actor and auditioning and asking for help and asking for someone to put you on it's not gonna do you service as much as creating your own content and learning how to create your own content and putting your own content out there,
Yeah.
because that's going to solidify you, one, as an actor, as a creator,
Mhm.
and someone that has the know-how to build himself up
Mhm.
and not constantly wait for a handout from some director or producer to tell
Right.
you you are worth it. You are valid. You
Yeah.
are a person of worth. You have to find your own worth by creating your own worth, by creating your own content and telling your own stories.
And you've always done that, right? Because I mean, I know we're on the lookout for Send Help, but I mean, how long have you been creating your own projects? Did you kind of like get a role and then decide you were going to start doing your own, or was that always part of it?
That became a part of it. I got
Okay.
the first role I got was
Mm.
Project X.
Okay.
It's a Green Hornet, Green
Mhm.
Hat production. It's a party
Yeah,
movie.
I saw it.
I,
Yeah.
and I
Mhm.
literally harassed casting to get that job.
Okay.
I like call them. I don't recommend it,
But it
but
worked.
I called them
Mm-hmm.
probably like 6 or 7 times that day, telling
Mm-hmm.
them I'm the person for that role. I'm the person for that role. I didn't even audition for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling them, telling them I'm the person for that role.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
But
You're.
I was on that job as a background actor.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm calling them. I'm saying, hey, I'm the guy. I'm the guy. I'm the guy. Long story short, they said, okay, fine, you're the guy. They got tired of me calling them. So,
Nice. Nice.
when I show up on set, I say I'm the guy, and I saw the difference between being background and
Mm-hmm.
being an actor,
Okay.
being a day player or an actor for the day.
Okay.
And I was like, it was night and day.
Mm-hmm.
And I said,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I understand how people treat the
Mm-hmm.
different tiers,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? And then it was like hard to get more work.
Okay.
And it was, but I was meeting people in class who gave me opportunities to work. Like
Mm-hmm.
I met this kid, Michael, who put
Mm-hmm.
me on with Alvin and Chipmunks. He
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
sent me a tape and he said, hey, can you send an audition tape for the voiceover? And I
Mm-hmm.
ended up booking. He was like, hey, my dad wants to meet you. I go to this man's
Nice.
house
Mm-hmm.
and come to find out this kid's family owns Alvin and Chipmunks, and he put me in the show.
Wow, wow. Yeah, you just never, I feel like too, like you just never know who you're talking to, and also just building that network because it just things can always just come full circle.
Exactly, because a lot of the times people are constantly trying to reach up to the next person
Hmm.
when the next Viola Davis is like sitting right next to you in class. The
Right.
next Steven Spielberg sitting right next to you in class.
Yeah.
Uh, all these talented David Lynch is sitting right next to you in class. Leonardo DiCaprio sitting right next to you in class. Denzel sitting right next to you in class. Like you
Yeah.
have to connect with those people sitting next to you so
Hmm.
that all can grow at the same time together because they're in your class.
Yeah.
Right? They're
Yeah.
in your class and they want to grow. They want to
Right.
do, so you
Yeah.
got to
Yeah.
invest in the people around you.
Yeah. And you know, you mentioned you said I think you said your brother likes Entourage, so I'm thinking, wow, that must be cool to be on HBO now for everything to like come full. That must be a moment and special, you know.
The full,
Um.
let, let me tell you, the full circle thing,
Yeah.
it happened the other day, right?
Hmm.
Like early this year when we were gone, I used to promote nightclubs. There was nightclubs I used
Hmm.
to promote in Rhode Island.
Hmm.
The other day, I used to book talent for those nightclubs.
Okay.
The other day, not the other day, but
Mhm.
the beginning of the year, I was booked as talent for those same
Oh, that's amazing.
that
Yeah.
my brother used to party in.
Yes.
I I watched Insecure um, at Urban World Film Festival at my first film festival where I had
Mhm.
my first film at.
Okay.
I watched the premiere episode, pilot
Mhm.
episode of Insecure.
Mhm.
Some interviewer asked me after the movie, after the showing,
Mhm.
can you see yourself on that show? I said, yeah, I can see myself on that show. And a year later, I'm on the show.
Okay. Let me start speaking things out into the universe because clearly that's part of the way it comes back. Because that sounds good to be able to say that and then, you know, see down the road that it's really, really happening. Like,
I didn't know how. I didn't know what was going to happen. But I said, I could see myself on that show.
right.
And then lo and behold, opportunity came
Mhm.
about, and I
Mhm.
found myself on that show, and
Amazing.
on my third season on the show, which is
Right.
crazy.
Right. Wait, and I'll, you know, of course, I have to get into Insecure a little bit too. So tell me, like, what that's like. Like, what do you see in yourself that really makes you connect with them all too?
The fact that he just says whatever on his mind,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
uh, also the fact that he's a man just going through the world trying to figure it out,
Right. Right.
um, and trying to just be there for other people, like his
Hmm.
sister.
Yeah.
I'm a brother. I'm a
Mhm.
brother. I'm a middle child. So my
Okay.
older brother, it was my older brother, my older sister, and my two younger sisters, and my
Hmm.
immediate family.
Yeah.
So I'm a brother. So I know I have that dynamic with my younger sister. My younger sister is a
Mm.
mom in this whole
Oh
situation.
yes. Yeah.
So I get it. I get them all to that degree and
Hmm.
understand
Yeah.
what he talks about.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I'm sure you're familiar with, so many people love the character. And I think that connection, I mean, me and my sister are 6 years apart, and people are like, are y'all best friends? Or you act like she's like your kid? Sometimes very protective of the siblings. So I understand that dynamic and connection. As of course, I'm sure you get this question all the time, but I have to ask, like, as a straight male, were you hesitant at all to take the role?
Of course, I was hesitant to take
Okay.
the.
Hmm.
I didn't want to come off like a cartoon character, and I didn't want
Yeah.
to come off like I was mocking the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to characterize who Amal is, because for me, Amal is a person before anything.
Right.
His sexual preference does not dictate who he is as an individual.
Hmm.
Um, and I didn't want. So when I heard I got the job,
Hmm.
instead of like celebrating with my boys and
Yeah.
partying,
Yeah.
I went home to do
Hmm.
research
Hmm.
and work out a backstory for him all,
Right.
and work out who he is and the people he kind of idolized and looked up to,
Nice.
uh, books
Mhm,
he's read,
mhm,
things by James Baldwin and Baynard Ruskin, like who
mhm,
was an activist,
mhm.
someone who like sticks up for people, sticks up for himself,
Okay.
and how he got his courage to how to become who he is, how he could walk in the world with such
Right, right.
confidence and swagger. So uh, it was it was scary,
Mhm,
but I knew that representation matters,
mhm.
and representation matters, and to be able to portray Amal in a real way and make him feel like a three-dimensional character that everybody can relate to,
Yeah,
uh, was very important to me.
yeah,
So
I think that's super cool and important. I think we like you said, I mean, there are a lot of caricatures, and I think it's that's what important too, like, for people to see different sides. So I think that was really cool. Um, now tell me about Send Help, and tell me how you feel about putting so much of your personal life out there. I'm always scared of that. It's different when you interview people, you know?
Ooh, man,
Yeah.
that whole set help thing
Mhm.
is terrifying.
Okay.
Um, I fortunate that I had a buddy help me in the
Mhm.
writing process of it.
Yeah.
He's also Haitian,
Okay, nice. Mhm.
so that was like a big thing for me.
Mhm.
Uh, but putting elements of my life out there
Yeah.
in a show is scary because, one, it's hard for me even when I'm writing, because since
Mhm.
this show was like a love letter to my older brother,
Mhm.
and the responsibility I feel to be there for my family and his daughter that he left behind, uh, I'm still going through it, through the
Of
motions,
course.
in
Mhm.
as I climb as an entertainer and a creator. I'm going through the motions because he's not with me in the growth.
Mhm.
He's not with me through the process,
Yeah.
um, as I grow, because he's the person I would love to share all this news
Right.
with. He's the
Mhm.
person I would love to be here with me. Like, I don't have a roommate. I wish if he was alive, he'd be my roommate.
Yeah, yeah.
We'd be living together.
Mhm.
Um, so growing and doing that and creating a show that speaks to
Mhm.
how he has influenced me,
Yeah.
how much I miss him,
Right.
how he has given me strength to keep going on,
Mhm.
uh, and to talk about my mom, my Haitian
Mhm.
mom, a very Haitian mom, who I feel is like every other Haitian mom out there,
Mhm.
because like all Haitian moms went to the same school and graduated the same school, ass
Mhm.
whooping and cussing out. Uh,
Yeah.
my beautiful niece who thinks she knows it all,
Mhm.
who's always got my back and who's always ready to tell me about myself. Uh,
Nice.
yeah,
Gotta
and
have those.
yeah, man, and like my friends who support me, who deal with my nonsense on a day-to-day basis,
Mhm.
uh, uh, who encourage me, who look out for me. Um, yeah, man, it's scary because I'm opening myself up to people's critiques. I'm opening up myself to people seeing what it's like. What
Mhm.
it's like. Also opening up myself to my trauma.
Okay.
My
Yeah.
trauma, knowing that my brother was murdered. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm. Mhm.
and knowing the person who murdered my brother. Like, these are all
Wow.
things I'm opening myself up to.
Wow.
Uh,
Yeah.
so I can heal, and then hopefully anybody else who's experienced what I've experienced can heal, and
Mhm.
also for the community, the Haitian community or first generation community, to see themselves in this character,
Yeah.
and being the first gen, going against the grain that your parents don't really know nothing about, but they're always trying to encourage you to do the more traditional job, become a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse,
Right. Right.
and being the person that's translating bills for your parents at like a 10-year-old. It's like
Wow.
all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting you said that because, yeah, I mean, I was originally a theater major and then switched to communications, and I remember so many of my peers saying stuff like, "Girl, my parents don't know I'm majoring in this, but I'm gonna try it." Like I heard those type of stories a lot where they're not really supportive, but I'm still working for it. So it's good that you have. So your family was always supportive of you pursuing the entertainment and acting.
No, my mom.
Oh, okay, okay.
My mom knows nothing. She's literally just starting to get it.
Okay,
I've
okay,
been doing this for 10 years. She's literally just starting to get it.
okay.
I was like, Mom, I'm on Insecure. She goes, you're on what? I was like, I'm on Insecure. She goes, cool. And then when I did Throwback Holiday, I told my mother, I'm on BT. She goes, oh, you're on BT, nice.
Yeah.
I've been on HBO for longer. Whenever, like, because as an actor, when you're just an actor, you have these lows when you're not working,
Yeah.
and you have to be strategic with your finances and how much money you spend. So there'll be times where I don't got it like that, but my mom would need something extra because she's on a fixed income. She's had like a couple heart attacks, and she's a single separated woman.
Yeah.
And you feel obligated to help,
Of course.
be there for them, and also you want to be there for them.
Yeah.
So when I don't got it, I'm sending money, or if I'm sending money, when I got it, I send money. If I don't got it, I still try to find a ways to send some money to make sure she's good. And during those times where she needs it, and and it's hard for me to like give it, I can't give her the amount she needs, but I'm able to give her something. She's like, you should probably think about going back to school, or you should probably think about taking up something else, because acting thing might not be working. I'm like, nah, this is it. I'm not doing anything else but this. It's gonna work out. Everything's gonna work out. And have to like fight through her trying to protect me from failure.
Yeah.
She throws in ideas like, hey, if it's not working out right now, you should talk to Ellen DeGeneres. She'll get you a career. I'm like, Mom, it's not that easy. You can't just call Ellen on the phone like, yo, things not working out. It's not how it works. So
yeah. My mom, when I remember her telling me one time, like, I heard Tyler Perry's hiring. Can't you call him? And I was like, yeah, I don't think I can do that, but
my mom
but I appreciate the help. Yes.
He said Tyler Perry has a lot of movies. He put so many Black people on. Just give him a call. I'm like,
I can't do that. Yes. Have you ever worked any like odd jobs that we'd be surprised to learn about in between gigs or anything like that?
Of course, man.
Yeah.
I've done in LA. I've done property management for some time as I took some time off. I wanted to learn directing, so I became a PA.
Oh, nice.
I PA'd. I've toured. I've toured the whole West Coast to East Coast with the Eric Andre show, being a stage manager, and also part of the show. I've what else have I done? I did property management. I've toured in PA. I've second AD'd. Yeah, man. I've done a whole gamut of stuff. Background, of course, and commercials, a lot of commercials, and then I started directing and producing and doing all that stuff with the knowledge I've learned from PAing, second ADing, and being on set.
Nice. I know I don't want to keep you too long, but I do just want to ask, like, what, two things. One, where do you see your career going? Like, what would be what's your goal at the end of the line? And then also, is there anything that you fear going forward?
My goal keeps evolving. So every time I hit a goal,
Mhm.
I make a new goal. So
Yeah.
it's hard to gauge. Like right now, the goal is to sell a TV show.
Mhm.
The goal is
Right.
sell a TV show,
Mhm.
establish my production company, Bassett House Pictures,
Okay.
and start creating a community for filmmakers of
Mhm.
color or diverse background to tell their
Mm.
stories and
Okay.
and help them finance their stories and find their own audience with Bassett House Pictures.
Wow.
So the goal is to own my own production company and distribution company.
Yeah.
That's one of the goals right now.
Yeah. Ooh, that's promising. I love that. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And what anything you fear moving forward?
Anything I fear,
Yeah.
uh, one of my biggest fear is that I don't. It's not really a thing. Is it's a fear, but it also keeps
Mm.
me moving forward. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Because I don't allow fear to stop me.
Okay.
I look at fear and I say, oh, this is my motivator to keep pushing forward.
Right.
Um, so one of my fears is like, this is very touching, but it's like one of my fears is since my mom is like getting older, she's had a couple heart attacks, is
Mhm.
that she's not able to experience everything
Mhm.
before I get to the point I want to be at.
Gotcha.
That's my biggest fear. Uh,
Gotcha.
uh, when it comes to work wise,
Mm.
I don't really have that much fear
Yeah.
because everything is trivial compared to that.
Right. Right.
So it's really don't have that much fear. I use fear to move forward. My fear materialized in action to
Mhm.
keep me from failing.
Gotcha, gotcha. I mean, I think from the stuff you're saying and the connection you obviously have with your family, you can tell that your mom is proud of you from the things you're saying. Like, you know what
Yeah,
I mean? So,
my mom is amazing, man.
yeah.
She's a comedian. As I get older, you get closer to your parents because as a
Mhm.
first generation American, you don't really talk to your parents about your life like that. Well, I don't. I don't
Mhm.
know if a lot of people do.
Mhm.
So now as I get older, I'm actually I'm speaking with my mother, I'm talking to her
Yeah.
and she's telling me stories about when she grew up. She's telling me stories about how my father and her met and her marriage
Mhm.
before that.
Yeah.
And and I'm involved in a lot more in her life,
Uh-huh.
especially with her separation right now with my father and everything.
Mhm.
Like I'm
Mhm.
involved in all that. I'm involved in a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm always like mediating and having conversation, having adult conversations with my mom, which is really cool.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's different. I mean, I think about the stuff I talked about when I was like a teenager with her and everything, but now as an adult, like the conversation just completely different with parents in general, just the stuff they went through. And I'll tell them something thinking it'd be too much, and they're like, "Well, here's how I would handle it." And I'm like, "Oh," so it's
'Cause
it's a
they let go of that veil of I'm your mother,
yeah,
I'm your father, I'm your this. They let
right,
go of the veil and you get to see just a person.
right, right.
Beautiful person in front of you who's actually having a conversation with feelings outside of just protecting you as as their child, you know.
Right.
So
Does
it's beautiful to have that connection with them.
Yeah, and if this is too much, you can let me know. But when with your parents like splitting up, has how has that affected you?
Um, it's affected me. It's affected me. It's affected me well before
Hmm.
we're now where I'm at now.
Right.
It's affected me because my parents have been in a downward spiral
Hmm.
of the relationship since I was like 10 years old.
Okay.
They're Haitian, so they don't believe in divorce.
Okay.
So
Okay.
they just
Hmm.
live in separate homes,
Hmm.
and it's affected me in the sense that I'm constantly feeling like I'm not doing enough
Hmm.
to get my mother out of her situation,
Hmm.
and my dad speaking as if he's like a teenager,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
he's not under wrapping his head around how his actions affect everybody else,
Hmm.
how
Yeah.
his actions affect everybody else, and then being the son in the whole thing,
Right.
I'm being pit between my mother and my father, and trying to give each of them advice
Hmm.
without and understand where each of them are coming from. And
Right.
so I'm acting as like a mediator in between the two and
Hmm.
have conversation and speaking with both of them. So
Yeah.
it's giving me both sides. It's causing me to have a different relationship between my mother and my father,
Hmm.
and not being able to say how trying to find ways to translate how that person feels from a place of hurt, and how my father feels from a place of hurt, and having that whole conversation between the two of them as
Yeah.
they're to like break it off.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like just like you said, they change when, the things they talk about us with and everything is different when we get older too, because it's like a different understanding and, just trying to see them as people. So I
Yeah.
understand that. I understand that. Well, okay, I know I'm supposed to be done. So let's continue. How do you stay sane? With everything going on, work and, things going on with your family and internally, I'm sure. So how do you deal with everything and stay sane, one? And then lastly, can you just share maybe a funny or special moment that you had on set? And then I promise that's it.
Okay. To stay sane, I take walks often. I take walks often, and I leave my phone in the house.
Oh, okay.
I leave my phone in the house. Every day, I keep my phone on Do Not Disturb. So I'm not constantly being inundated with calls or messages.
Okay.
I watch TV. I watch like anime shows, which
Okay.
I watch movies and TV shows, just to get my mind off of things.
Right.
And if I find a good book, I read a good book.
Yeah.
Those are my practices. I also meditate every once in a while.
Okay.
And then whenever I'm going through something or something big traumatic happens or something that bothers me, I journal.
Okay. Yeah.
Journal is my way to cope with a lot of things that are going on in my life, between my family, between my own trauma, between work.
Yeah.
I journal a lot.
Okay.
The next question was,
Is there a special moment or maybe a funny moment on set that, just really sticks with you? Something that would surprise us, I guess.
A funny moment on set was on Insecure, or just any project whatsoever?
I guess on Insecure.
Funny moment on set was season 3 when Kelly was laying into me at the baby shower.
Yes.
And you guys didn't get to see it, but she was just riffing and it was just so funny. And it
Yeah.
caught me like off guard, and I broke a couple times in that process.
Yes. Yes. It looks like you guys have a lot of fun on set. I'm sure, we're all loving Insecure, as I'm sure you know, but it seems like just from seeing interviews and everything too, it seems like it's a fun set to be on also.
It's a great time. That's a great time on that
Yeah.
show. But from the conversations we have on set, behind the scenes, to games, to dancing, to climbing around, like we have a ball. We have a
Nice.
ball.
Nice. Well, thank you so much. I know I got into your business a little bit, but I really appreciate your time, and I really like the show, like your character. So congratulations on everything, and I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you both.
Thanks, Hannah.
Bye.
Bye.